Welcome to Near Falls with D. He's talking on bars and how they win it all. Yeah, it's just Near Falls with D. The final takedown, the glory or the fall. So loosen up, step on in, wrestle with the need to win. We're talking Near Falls with D. Ready or not, he's here to brawl.
What's going on, wrestling fans? Welcome into another edition of Near Falls with D Hall, a wrestling podcast. Today, so excited. This is the best time of year. My favorite project of the year, the 24-25 WPIAL Coaches Preview. So excited to bring this to you guys. I have a bunch of different coaches coming on from across the WPIAL. They're going to come on, talk about their schedule, expectations, up-and-comers, their leaders, their seniors, all that type of stuff. You guys know the drill. This is year 3 or 4 of me doing it. So pumped up to bring it to you guys. I really hope you enjoy it, and just hope you enjoy listening to these guys talk like I did. It was always a blast for me, and this year was no different. So without further ado, welcome in to the WPIAL Coaches Preview.
Welcome to the Near Falls WPIAL Show, where D.R. and Kaz are gonna tell you all the things you wanna know. Whether it's Trinity or Spencer Lee or Mr. Kurt Angle, just ask Vinny, WPIAL, yeah, Ken and Mac for sure. They got the interviews to soothe your soul, because it's Near Falls in the WPIAL.
All right, joining me next on the call, we have head coach of Bethel Park Area School District, Mr. Tyler Nauman. How are you, sir?
All right, Donnie, how are you?
My man. Always good to have you on. Another year down. First things first, what a great year for the Blackhawks last year. Kind of seemed like you guys put it all together and had a, fantastic run at the end of the year. Talk about that and how you're kind of leapfrogging off of that into the offseason this year.
Yeah, man. I mean, it was a great year. Obviously, didn't end team-wise how we wanted. I don't know, even personally, individually, if I've ever had a day that tough in my life. A tie match and a 1-point match or 2-point match, losing 2 duels by 3 points. It wasn't very easy. And I mean, I've been there and I've had it happen.
You know me, I'm Mr. Positivity, but my friend, I feel you. I was in the stands and I watched
It was rough. And like
you guys had it both ways. I mean, I think you guys had the match won for both sides.
Yeah,
and,
could have, and it didn't go our way. It didn't end up that way. But I think, we've done a very, very good job of making it a team and a family and doing things afterwards, and we still did. But it was just a somber. I don't even want to say sad. It was just a different night. Like nobody really said anything. I mean, there was talking, but it was just it was a rough night. But hey, that's the way the cookie crumbles. And that's what happened. But I mean, overall, it was great. Like, I started out like 15th ranked or 12th ranked or something, and to end up 4th, definitely a testament to that team and that group that's been together. And the ending of that group is probably this year, a couple after this year, but the main majority of them probably graduate after this year. So looking to build on that. But into the off season, same thing as last year. I mean, we didn't stop. Week or 2 off after individuals. We were right back. NHSCA duels, NHSCA individuals. I mean, we wrestled everything. I couldn't even remember what all we wrestled. I mean, I think we did 8 duels as half to 3/4 of a Bethel team under Team Nauman. So Team Nauman Bethel. And then obviously they had their teams in too, but we did a lot. So same exact thing, practice lifted 2 days a week. Same thing we've been doing basically since I've been able to get in there and get it all set up. So, I mean, I actually been. I had to give them the week after West Penn off because and make them take off because they're accustomed and bought into what myself and Coach Hunter when he was here engaged, and now we have a new assistant Ryan Gossett with us, and just that we've been preaching and they just basically, like I said, we had to force them to take off.
Good problem to have. Good problem to have, no doubt. Talk to me about, the alumni. You sent a couple of those boys off to college and you have a couple other boys in college. Talk to me about, some of those guys that, are doing not even necessarily college wrestling, but doing big things post high school.
Yeah, our 172 pounder last year, or one of them, we had a couple in and out of there. AJ Tomino, he went to Waynesburg. He's wrestling. I believe he's wrestled 2 opens now. Got a couple wins under his belt. So he's down there doing well. Corden McDonald, who was state qualifier last year, senior, graduated, ended up at Gannon. He wasn't real sure where he was going to go, was talking to a couple schools, was definitely late to everything. Ended up with Gannon, and I think he's only wrestled 1, but again, he got 3 or 4 wins under his belt and open out in Ohio. So he's, I believe he's redshirting, and just hitting the open circuit. And then we have Mason Kernan, who ended up as a, hard to say, mountaineer. Just kidding. But
I know, dude. I hear you.
We weren't sure if he was going to start, what was going to happen there. He did win the wrestle off. He won 2 matches, won the bracket, but it wasn't by a real big margin or anything. So I'm not sure what they're doing there. They have a tough 25 pounder that they use at 33. I guess he struggles to make weight. So I think they're still figuring things out. I'm not a definite that he's not in there. But
optics look good on him, though. I mean, winning both his.
He's doing well. He won the same Ohio Open that Corden was in. He got 5th. He lost in the quarters of the Southeast. Both of them were freshman sophomore division, but still out there competing. And he's placed in both of them and only has 1 loss in 2 tournaments. So
I'm not surprised. I mean, when you're good on top, it translates well to college. And
I mean, he's tough in every position. He's down there training. He lives the right lifestyle. It's going to be hard not to do well.
Big Kernan fan for sure. Okay, let's get into this squad. Who's Kernan was one of those dudes for you last year. Who's one of the dudes this year helping you lead the squad?
I mean, to be honest with you, I was thinking about this before it came on. We have a group of leaders, and I think we've had a group of leaders. Obviously, Mason led by example last year. I think we have that again this year in Ethan Higgins, Seth Miller. Seth Miller's, I mean, we went from 2 years ago, unfortunately not getting in because we had a log jam. 5th in the WPIAL last year. He does everything. He's at everything. He wrestles. Aiden Stout he's come out of nowhere. And he's up there. Our heavyweight, Michael Gibson, wrestled when he was little, stopped wrestling, came back, actually broke his leg the second practice that he came back. So he missed another year, and then last year he's back. He's wrestling it. So I have a group that's doing everything. I actually would like to see maybe 1 or 2 step up and be a little more vocal, and not like that bad kind of vocal, but push some guys. We haven't had a real vocal leader, but we have a lot of guys that lead by example.
How about the other side of the coin, freshmen or newcomers that we might look up, like you said, Mr. Miller, that, pop into the lineup that at the end of the WPIAL tournament, we look up that are wrestling for a spot in the state tournament?
Yeah, I mean, I think we might only have 2 freshmen. We do have a group of them. I don't know yet who's going to be high school, who's going to be junior high. I'm still trying to sort that out. So I don't know this year if we're going to have a standout freshman. We do have 2 that made the state tournament last year. Who could? They're in that log jam though, so it's tough. But that sophomore class that we had that came in last year, end of the year, and not going as great as he wanted for Pierce Reinhardt, but he's been in everything. Back, he's wrestling his butt off. Ian Bocelli, from sectionals on, he was on fire. Ended up 7th in the WPIAL as a freshman. Hey, this year that makes regionals. So, and then Colton Fisher I think he was like top 10, lost a match to a kid that he beat twice before to be top 8. And then Caleb Crawford, who's actually the Coach Crawford, who was before me at Bethel's son. Those guys all, I mean, like I said, no real big seasons last year, but they're all very, very talented wrestlers, made it state tournament, placed at state tournaments, lower levels. Any one of them could be in it, along with the other guys that I mentioned. I mean, none of the other, without Mason, we have without Mason and Corden, we have no returning state qualifiers or placers. So, but I could see 3 or 4. I don't know about with the new system and everything. It's all different, but I think we could have a couple.
Let's just run right into that. Talk to me what you think about the new system. I mean, I've talked to most of the coaches about it. It's some good, some bad. I mean, it's another weekend, right?
Yeah, I used to coach AA with Wenzel and
Mr. Bolsack.
the Bolsacks and our crew at South Park. I hated it. I mean, I was actually I wasn't the head coach, but I was one that spoke up about it. I believe one of the things that I said is why they went to sectionals Friday, WPIAL Saturday, which at least was better. It was only 3 weekends, but it's just a lot. My dad does it out where they're from. It's a lot of weigh-ins. There's already a lot. We already talked about how long wrestling is. It's rolling like weigh-ins. I don't like it. I mean, you talked a little bit earlier. I think the WPIAL, I think we're shooting ourselves in the foot. I'll probably get slack for saying this, but I mean, supposedly we wanted this. We added 20 teams to the toughest region, arguably medal count, and we got 1 spot. Everybody else got 1 spot, and they added nothing. I get it. The numbers are even now, but it doesn't correlate. Like we're not putting the best kids at the state tournament. We're just not doing it.
And I mean, in that you're adding like Central Mountain, you're adding some of these teams in the middle of the state, or just you're from out there, the monster teams out there.
Yeah, I mean, we go to King of Mountain every year. We wrestle Central Mountain. They're one of the best teams around. Like they're good. And there's other ones like they only had 8 medals, but that's 8. Okay, so you gave us 14 spots, and 8 of those may be taken already, if not more. Like I said, we added 20 teams to the toughest region, and you added 1 spot. Every other region got the same thing with adding nothing. To me, it doesn't make sense at all.
Okay, so the next spot on that is the thing that rose last year. I've been talking to a couple of you guys about it. The league championships not considered a point. I guess Bishop McCourt was the one that kind of figured out how to accentuate that role.
Yes.
Go ahead.
I don't know. Again, that's what I talked about. You and me talked earlier, but I guess my AD is on the WPIAL board. Again, I feel WPIAL, we're shooting ourselves in the foot. So we made this rule, and then from what I'm being told, Allegheny County tournament doesn't count. The Allegheny County tournament is the same thing that McCourt's went to. It's the same thing that when I wrestled the Mid-Penn championships, it's the same thing. It's the same thing as the Lancaster-Lebanon League championship. So basically, if we add league to the Allegheny County League championships, we'd be able to do it from what I'm being told. But because it's just Allegheny County championship, it doesn't say league, we can't do it. But a lot of them don't say league. But why did we make the rule if these couple, what do we have, 3? Tri-County, Westmoreland, Allegheny. Is there another one? Mac. Okay, Mac 4. Oh, but if we can't, it doesn't. We made the rule, but they don't qualify. Why did we do it? You wasted your time. Again, I don't. Why we did it for nothing?
It's fair.
Like, so I mean, maybe not nothing, but what tournaments qualify, or why did we put it in if those are the ones that not doing it? Because I mean, like I said, I talked to a couple coaches. They're the same exact thing as what's going on, and obviously, I have a little insight. I'm from there. I go to those tournaments where I have people, coaches, teams wrestling in those tournaments. It's the same exact thing.
Well, and that's the thing. Like I've talked to some of these coaches, and it's like how these dudes are 56-5 or 54-8. You know what I mean? Like how are they getting 65 matches in a year when our guys are only getting 40, 45, right?
Yeah, it's hard. I mean, to be honest with you, I don't know if I like, even if it didn't count, I don't know if I'd want to add anything. We have a ton this year. They moved dual meets. Like literally December 11th last year. We didn't wrestle till the first Wednesday before Christmas. An actual dual meet, unless you went to a dual meet tournament to start. But like this year, I looked at it. I'm like, December is like Bethel wrestles every single weekend. We wrestle every single Wednesday except for Christmas Wednesday in December. Like it's a lot. So I don't know even if I want to add it, but like if people do and they want to be like McCourt, which I give McCourt credit, they wrestle everything. It doesn't matter. And hey, it's probably why they're good, but that's not for everybody. So
Right.
like I think I said this at the end of last year too. I mean, it got a lot. Like that whole when you get into that team thing and you wrestle that Monday maybe, or maybe you don't, and then you wrestle to that Wednesday, and then it's that Saturday, and then you either make it and you go travel to Hershey, or we did. We got done, and that's why I told my AD this year. I'm like, when we get done, like I don't want like last year I got done. I'm like, oh, okay, we didn't make it. I had to wrestle TJ on Wednesday, and I had to go to Pine Richland duels for six duels as soon as I was done.
And that's
And
no joke, either of those.
yeah, Pine Richland duels. We wrestled Latrobe, we wrestled Kiski, and then we wrestled Pine Richland. And Hempfield was in there too, plus us. That's 5 teams that were in the Whitfield duels. I was just like, not that I don't want that, but I mean, we just talked about that night was rough, and then right back into that. I mean, it helped our guys out, but and we had some nicks and bruises. We didn't even wrestle Mason. Like it was a lot. It was a lot.
No, and you're not the first person that I've heard that from. I mean, I talked to Tark about that, and Tark kind of, said the same thing. Like if you make the tournament or you make a deep postseason run in the Whitfield bracket, that those weekends start to stack up on top of each other, and it's a lot of making wait 3 days, and getting to make sure these guys are down. Then you got a match on Wednesday, then you got another match on Saturday, a weigh in on Friday. So I can understand where you guys are coming from. That at some point, these are high school kids, right?
Yeah, I mean, I could only imagine how they felt. I mean, maybe they didn't, but literally last year, I was like, when we got done with Pine Richland duels, I was like, this last 3 weeks, like I feel like I wasn't at my house. I've left work early every day, 3/4 of the days of those 3 weeks. Like it was, and I mean, I'm not a teacher. Like, we're not all teachers, so it becomes tough. It was just like I said, like it becomes a lot, and it's good for them in the end and in life, but it is a lot, and our sport's already hard. So
Yeah, no doubt. Okay, give me the coaching staff. Who's helping you out this year?
okay, so I'm still the head. Hunter is not going to be the head assistant. He's going to stay around. He's volunteering. I have no idea what he's doing. He was going to grad school, and then he was getting into
One of those shadows of the program. Just got to be around it,
he's
right?
doing everything, but he's in and out. There's a
Doesn't
couple days that
matter.
he
I love
can-
it that he's around it.
So he's volunteering. He's still helping coach. So it's me. We hired Ryan. They call him Goose Gossett. He was at Mount Lebanon, I believe, with junior high, and then last year was at Upper St. Clair. Does the same thing that my family does. Takes kids everywhere. Runs practices pretty much all season. He was helping Hunter, Troy, Mickey, that whole crew out there at Derry running their thing. So he's got the same mindset as us. And then we have Bonacorsi, Ace, or Anthony Bonacorsi. We have Zach Emitter, who's from Shore Valley. He's been there both years. Jordan Dunlop is helping out. I'm sorry if I missed anybody, guys, but I believe
it's a good problem to have, buddy. I mean, when you have a lot of guys that want to come in and help be a part of something that you're building, it's a good problem to have.
Yeah, man. They especially now, my girls are getting older, soon to be 8 and 6, and getting into sports and stuff. So I wouldn't be able to be around if I didn't have a crew that was able to be in there and help as much as I do. So it is good, and they're all knowledgeable and can run the practice, help the kids, talk to the kids on and off the mat. So we've put some good people around us.
Talk to me about your schedule, man. What's that look like for you? And how are you building it this year? Have you changing it? What's it look like?
Yeah, we changed it up a lot. My first year we started with Gateway. Gateway obviously ended. Um, we switched over to Greenville duels last year to get out of the Whippy a little bit and not have so many matches against the same kids. We're coming back to Shar Houston, so we're starting with Shar Houston. Are going to Hampton. I'm just going to put it out there.
Dude, Hampton's
Oh,
got some squads
that's
this
the
year,
schedule
buddy.
yesterday. Like I just talked about Prime Richland. Like it's literally the Whippeal duels with just who we wrestled. And
I was telling someone I'm settling in out there, dude. That's gonna be some good matches.
Sure, there's some great matches. I mean, I'm just going to put it out straight up. We got in it because the sections changed. There's a team not in our section anymore. I tried to wrestle them. They said no. Well, we're coming to wrestle somebody that's winning a section. I told you we reached out to West A. We didn't get a response from West A. Like we were trying to wrestle the better teams. I mean, I think last year seeding, we ended up in a good spot. I didn't really like the us NA matchup. It was tough. Like we just didn't match up well. But if we lost to Bald Eagle and everybody else stayed in the Whippeal and they were undefeated in the Whippeal, this, that. So I don't know if that's how it's going to work, or I don't know how it works, but it just seems how it ended up falling. Like, so that's what we're going to try to put ourselves in that position. So we go Shar Houston, Hampton duels. We go back to King of the Mountain the third weekend and then Powerade. Like I said, our December is. I told the boys, you better be ready to wrestle because it's tough. Like it's hard. And then we have Peters the first Wednesday or the 11th, so the second Wednesday, whatever that is. Mount Lebanon again, and Mount Lebanon the next couple of years. I mean, they're tough now. In the next couple of years, they're going to be real tough.
They got Shaw out there. I mean, it's gonna sneaky get good.
Yeah. They got a tough. I mean, they got a good coaching staff over there. They got the club SWA and those coaches and kids and other kids coming in there. They're going to be real tough. I don't even think it's a pushover match this year either. So December with those, I'm not sure if we have one more duel or not. I can't think of that right now. But those 4 tournaments, everything else is pretty much the same. We're going back to counties. I actually reached out to them and told Ron Frank I wasn't sure. We've talked about this before, the whole seeding with the city league, and it just messes up the brackets and
terrible, awful.
Again,
I don't even care. Like I'll roast them forever. I mean, it's pointless, awful, trash.
Aren't placing, and it just is what it is. Like I get it. Like I don't know. Try to help them out. That's what they wrestle like. But it just like I don't know. You know who
they got to earn their spots.
Yeah, they say the cream rises to the top, but when 2 good kids meet early and then you drop down right to another good kid, like
I hate that.
It doesn't work like that. And then somebody else is on. Like I don't know. But we are going back.
Yeah.
I mean, just the regular dual meets then. And then hopefully we have another run. That's the goal, and that's what we're shooting for.
Now, last year I talked to you about some room games. We'll talk about that here. I mean, talk to me about some room games, but I mean, you got some goofballs on your team. You got a dude dressed in like Spider-Man, like sitting in the corner. I'm like, I looked at that on Twitter. I'm like, what the hell? I mean, I loved it. I thought it was hilarious. But
yeah, man,
you definitely got some goofballs.
My biggest thing is what I think I've talked about this on here before. I mean, my dad's been my coach. He's always built a family. From the minute I walked into Bethel, and the first thing I said to the administration or the parents or the whatever, the whole group, like if I leave here with no wins, like my biggest thing is these kids get better in life, and we're a group, a family group. Like that's what I talked about after pretty much every match, every tournament. So we try to do something like together, and not just the kids, like the family members, sisters, cousins, grandmas. It doesn't matter who, like whoever's coming, like we're trying to get whatever. We go to Pazza, we go to BJ's, we go to Al's Cafe. Like it don't matter. We're trying to go somewhere. And I think that's led to these dudes. They asked me, like, Aiden Stout was coach, can we do a costume practice? Sure, do whatever you want. Like, he's like, you don't care if we wear costumes? No, man, as long as you're in here, right, go wrestle. Like, you wear whatever you want, like, as long as it's appropriate. But like, they like, and I forgot all about him asking me. And literally the day, like, that it was Wednesday and Halloween was Thursday. But like, I get the text on that Wednesday before practice, or we doing it, and it wasn't text. It was in our like group. It's called Spawn, and we have like a messenger, and they're all like, "Yeah, I'm wearing," and I don't know the last time I put a Halloween costume on. It was probably 3 years ago. My daughter was Baby Shark, so I got like a adult shark costume. Like, it's basically like a onesie. I couldn't find it anywhere. It literally 30 seconds after I get home from practice, guess what I find?
Of course.
I didn't have mine on.
Every time.
Higgins was Spider-Man. We might have had one inappropriate once. That was a condom.
I love it. I mean, high school boys will be high school boys.
I mean, there was a ton of them, and they wrestled. Majority of them wrestled in them most of the practice, live, everything. Higgins wrestled with the mask on. Like, it literally had two hard eyes. Like, I don't ask me how or why or how the dude was breathing, but Spider-Man wasn't just sitting in the corner. He was wrestling live as well. So,
dude, when I saw him, I think it was you. But he literally was sitting in like the Spider-Man stance.
Yeah, I'm like right here. Like, I think we were doing top, and I was like, I must have just shown something. I'm like sitting in and I think it was Stout is like right next to me and right through the middle, like he lined it up perfect.
Incredible.
And then Coach Goose put the Spider-Man 3 soundtrack to it. It was like it was
top tier.
Yeah,
it was great stuff. Okay. Next thing I have for you, social medias. How can we follow the squad this year?
We have I don't know our handles. Check real quick, but we have everything. Oh, I wouldn't say everything. We don't have a TikTok. We have Twitter at Wrestling BPHS. So at Wrestling BPHS. We have a Facebook page. It's just Bethel Park Varsity / Junior High Wrestling. And we have an Instagram, which I believe is just Bethel Park Wrestling. Yeah. So those three are the three we use. And we're on them all the time. I mean, we have multiple people that post stuff. We have one of our dad's board members, Mr. Miller. He does graphics. All of the nice stuff that's on there is him. Just so everybody knows. I think I've said
they're great.
They're great. The crappy stuff that you can't read, the spelling's wrong, the grammar's wrong. That's me. So, or one of us, but most likely me. Yeah. But I do the quick ones that people watch, practices, things like that. And then they do the nice ones. We had Jersey Mike's Day today, so there was a Jersey Mike's graphic and thing on there. But we Instagram post stories, Facebook post stories, Twitter. I think Twitter's just post. But yeah, so we use everything. And then we have a website too. Don't ask me what that is, but we have a web. Mr. Miller runs our website, and I was on it the other day. It's actually really, really, really nice now.
I'm not surprised. I mean, my man's got the great graphics, so he does a great job for you guys.
Yeah, I mean,
definitely one of the best in the WPIAL as far as graphics and
he screens all our matches too. All the ones that we're allowed with and it has the scoreboard and everything. Like he does a very, very, very good job. We're very fortunate to have him, and he actually one of the freshmen coming in is his son, so he'll be here for at least 4 more years.
Little cheat code you have in the program. That's a good thing there, buddy.
For sure, always nice.
Yes. Okay. That's it. Give me any shout outs, anyone anything you want to talk about before I leave you go.
I don't have much, man. As always, I always give the pops, McDevitt, all our McDevitt
the Fox boys, baby,
for sure. Wish them a good season. All their guys. All the Team Nalman guys. We go out there, they come out there. Like I said, we wrestle together all summer. So just a little bit of extended Harrisburg family. a couple other areas out there too. So always want to wish them well. And I mean, we just look forward to scrapping with everybody. So pretty much good luck to everybody. Like you asked about Mason, Corden, AJ. If I'm missing any alumni, I apologize. I believe everybody else graduated. I mean, they're all working and stuff, but good luck to all of them. That's pretty much all I got.
My man, thank you so much for coming on, hanging out with me, and I'm sure I will see you very soon.
Yes, sir. Look forward to it, and thanks for having me.
Later. Go Hawks.